talking about people running in New Hampshire, the first in the nation primary. How about Larry Hogan, the governor of Maryland?
I like
He's
Larry.
Talking about it.
Larry's a very good guy. Larry's a lot like Charlie Baker, right? He's got a good Republican.
You mean a rhino?
In a very difficult political dynamic. Come on. He's got a very challenging dynamic, has done very well in Maryland. But again, look, anybody that's honestly thinking about running as a Republican against Trump is going to get destroyed. I mean, they really are. It's not even going to be close. So, people might want to talk about it, almost juicing themselves up for a run, in 2024 or something like that. But I don't know. I haven't talked to Larry about it. I'm going to see him this week, actually. Next week, I'm going to be at an event in Baltimore with him. He's a very good guy. But again, very similar political dynamic in Massachusetts, and again, it would be very tough for anyone.
So you talked to Kasich, but he didn't mention the presidential race. How about Jeff Flake? Although he's got that big gig now on MSNBC.
I'm not a big fan, and he hasn't called. Maybe he knows I'm not a big fan. So, is anyone a fan? For goodness sakes.
Nobody in Arizona.
Look, if you have the title senator or congressman or congresswoman or in front of your name right now, I don't think you have the right to look for any new job. You got to do the job you have before you should be applying for a new one, for goodness sakes. I mean, really, Republican or Democrat. I say fire them all.
844-500-4242. You want to take a call or two?
Oh, let's bring it on.
Steve, you're next with Howie Carr and Governor Chris Sununu of New Hampshire.
Hey, Howie, I got two quick comments. One, I wanted to see if the governor could talk about Chucky's fight real quick on a serious note. On a not so serious note, can you pass a law not allowing people from Massachusetts to move to New Hampshire? Because they're messing it all up. Okay?
I think it's too late, Steve. That horse left the barn.
I think New Hampshire has had a faster population increase than Massachusetts the last 2 years, so they're coming over. Bring them on over. You just got to get through the tolls in Massachusetts, and once you get past those tolls, you come into beautiful New Hampshire. It's always sunny, except when it snows, and then it's pennies from heaven.
But you know what I like about the New Hampshire tolls? You can still pay cash.
That's a nice.
I mean, that's a nice option,
and it's actually affordable. Have you been over the Tobin Bridge lately? It's crazy. I mean, it costs a fortune just to look at the city of Boston now. I think they're going to tax you just to look at the skyline pretty soon.
Here's how old I am. I remember when it was a quarter.
Look, I don't want to. I'm not here to bash on Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts.
Although I did give you the list of the taxes.
Look at this list of taxes. I mean, my God. Do you know how many taxes I've raised in my term as governor?
I'm going to get 0.
There you go. There you go.
Would you like to go read?
We cut taxes.
We only have like 5 minutes left.
A carbon tax. Because Republicans invented carbon, apparently, according to the Democrats. Unconstitutional graduated income tax on high earners, right?
Yeah, that's coming. The
more successful you are, the more we'll take you down.
Like a bad penny.
I mean,
that one keeps coming back.
The thing that gets me, unfortunately, is this stuff adds up, right? In the legislature, it's very easy to say, well, this is just a little tax here and a couple pennies there and a couple pennies there. But it ultimately really affects your quality of life. You can't live like this.
It's only a cup of coffee a day.
Yeah. If you drank 40 cups, but if you drink 40 cups of coffee, and that's what I'm looking at, 40 cups of coffee here, $40 a day. 15% tax on prescription opioid painkillers. Okay, well, I get what they're trying to say with that one. The internet sales tax, by the way, we're fighting that. Every state wants an internet sales tax now. We fight it, obviously. The Supreme Court didn't do us any help, but we're going to basically put up roadblocks in there.
The tax on the real estate deeds here in Massachusetts, because we're going to fight climate change because it was so hot and tropical last weekend.
If these taxes work so well, to be honest, why is it that New Hampshire has a more robust economy? Why is our unemployment at 2.5%? Why do you have so many more freedoms up in New Hampshire? It doesn't work. You got to be able to run the government. Don't get me wrong, but we're just going to nickel and dime you to death down here, for goodness sakes. And I know, by the way, you've heard me say it before. You're all listening to me sitting in traffic, going about 4 miles an hour. You got plenty of time to rethink your life choices. Come on up to the Granite State. I'll personally go out and find you a place for your business or a condo to rent.
But Steve doesn't want any of us to come up. I get the feeling he didn't want me to, buy a ski place up in Lincoln a few years back.
He's nervous there's going to be a mass exodus. And I don't know if there's going to... Look, take solace in this, Steve. They're coming from Connecticut faster than they're coming out of Massachusetts. So take solace in that. Connecticut and New York are just flooding into New Hampshire, which pro and con, by the way, on that one. But we'll take them.
I'm not sure that's good news for you or any other Republicans.
Politically, it makes it a little challenging sometimes. what I as governor, I swear I spent a lot of time reminding people why they came to New Hampshire in the first place, right? You came here because of the freedoms, because of the flexibility, because of the economic opportunity. You don't want to necessarily bring the politics that you ran away from with you.
Right. As one of our Massachusetts listeners says, you got to keep reminding people it's the live free or die state. It's not the live for free or die state. All right, Governor Sununu, we appreciate you being with us.
Anytime.
Thank you. See you again soon.
We'll talk.
I'm Howie Carr.